Technique is not more important than strength, but technique needs to come first. Positions are what creates distance. So you could be as strong as you want. You could be, I mean, take, for example, some of the strongest people in the world and you give them a discus. I bet I could throw farther than them. You know what I mean? I bet most of us could throw farther than them because the technique is so valuable. Positions create distance, but more strength equals more distance. And so what you do is you establish technique first, always work on your technique, that's the hard part. And then as you add on strength, you will throw farther and throw farther and throw farther. Because the truth is, if you want to throw really far, you have to be really strong. It always goes back to, remember, technique needs to happen first, and that it's the technique, it's the positions, that's what creates distance. So if you go into the ring like, okay, I'm really strong, I'm gonna go throw this one farther, typically when we think about throwing hard, our technique falls apart, and that's why we don't throw as far. Maybe that's why it feels like when we try to throw far, we can't. And again, it just stems down to that your technique falls apart, and then but your distance depends on your technique to be there. So the truth I want you to take from today's video is that strength is automatic. So you're strong enough to throw farther. But it's about the order of events and where you put your priority. Your number one priority always needs to be, always, 100% of the time, focused on improving technique, improving technique, improving technique. If you look across my channel, probably 90% or more of my videos are technique related, because that's the hard part. I'll be honest with you, sure, getting stronger takes some time, and it takes months and months of training, years and years of training to get stronger. But the strength gaining is the easy part. The hard part is learning how to do this right. And again, everything goes back to positions create distance, or proper technique creates distance. So you focus on improving your technique. You focus constantly on how I can execute positions better. And while you're doing that, you support that training with lifting and with other things that make you more athletic. And then over the course of time, as your technique improves, the strength supports it, and then you throw farther and farther and farther. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take one of Maud's throws and analyze that and see how she can improve her technique. Hey Maud, how you doing? Glad that I'm finally getting around to your video. Appreciate your patience there. Kind of just want to look at your throw and maybe pinpoint some things that you're doing good and some things that you can work on. So I've been watching this throw for a little bit, and your general technique's pretty good. I think you're making great progress, and you're pretty smooth. And when it comes to discus, smoothness is king, and so you're doing that really well. So let's look at some things though that you can work on to make you throw a little bit more crisp. And really, I would say it's going to start here in the back of the circle. I want you to look at this position here. Okay, so notice that your left foot has fully turned and it's facing the throwing sector. Okay, so that's good. But when this foot is here, look at where your right foot is. And so what's happened here is your left foot has made its complete turn, and this right foot has just now come up off the ground. And so if you look here in this position, not everything is wrong here. So you have some space between your knees, like you can tell your knees are apart. But what's happening here is this right side, this right leg, is dragging behind this left one. So if you look back here a little bit, you can see that your left foot does a whole bunch of work without the right going with it. So we just kind of watch here. So you can see it turns, right foot's still on the ground, and then this finishes the turn, then right comes off. And if you can see, when the right comes off, that foot is kicked up, and that knee drops. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to make everything a little bit more horizontal, a little bit more out and around rather than up and down. So in general with discus, that could be a theme. You want, just to go big picture here, you want your hips to go level across the circle in nice wide movements. We want our shoulders to go level across the circle with wide movements. And it is natural for us, every discus thrower, to make, we want to go up and down in extremes when, again, we need to be thinking big, wide circles. And so that's what's kind of going here. Your left foot does a bunch of work, then your right foot has to catch up to it. And so then the foot goes up, knee goes down, and then what that's going to do is make you kind of take away some of your potential rotational energy. And so let's go back here for a second. What we want to do, okay, so this left arm and the right leg, they are connected. So if you can see, if this left arm goes down and pulls away, your right leg is going to drag. So again, watch as this moves, this right leg drags. So what we want to do is we want this left arm reaching out more this way and more this way and more this way. We want that elbow to stay with this knee. But if you look here, here's the knee, here's the elbow. What we want is that elbow to be right over top of the knee. So we want this left arm to move at the same speed that your left foot is turning. And I'm okay if this left arm moves really fast, as long as it's directly in line with this left foot. We want left arm and left foot to move at the same pace, so that, again, if your foot's this way, then that's where your arm should be facing. And when you do that, okay, so when you lock this left side in with here, that means, remember, this left arm and right leg are connected. So if you are under control with your left arm, then your right leg will be under control. And that right leg will come off, or it's easier to come off the ground sooner, and it won't drag behind. Because again, just like we want the left arm and left leg to work together, you want your left leg and your right leg to work together, so that as this is moving and going crazy, going fast, it's turning, this right knee and this right foot are also coming with it and moving even faster. And that's how you enter and get into a strong sprint position here. That's how you keep yourself able to run forward. So, well, if I were you, focus on your upper body, focus on this left arm, lock this left arm with the left leg. So again, that as the foot turns, this is turning with it. Again, remember, we don't want to bury this left arm back and away like here. And then focus on letting this right leg come off the ground sooner. Again, once this whole left side is strong, then it's easier to move the right leg to go around with it. So just work on some back of the ring stuff. Another piece that's true here is the better the back of the ring is, again, I'm talking long term, the better this is, the better everything else gets through the throw. That's a true statement. So focus on the back here, focus on the arm and the leg, and you will naturally fix other things. And then again, the better your technique is, the more automatic that distance is. You will throw farther, and you get to use all the strength you've developed. So you're doing a great job, Mod. Thanks for being patient with this video, and I'll see you on the next one.